Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out Bit Battles by Boarding Party Games. A little alliteratory tongue twister there, but it is a action strategy game, a pretty creative one, and one that feels a little bit like something you might run into on the iOS platform, although I mean that in the gentlest, kindest way possible because I have a little bit of maybe a stigma with mobile games or something like that, but don't worry about it. I'm complimenting the game. It's pretty cool. So let's start it up. There isn't a whole lot to go over at the beginning aside from just, let's comment on the aesthetic here. Reminds me a little bit of, well, for one thing, probably Cardinal Quest or Tiny Plumbers, very basically. And then we've got this setup here with these three overworld maps, and that skull, as you just noticed, exploded, turned into evil stuff, and then the evil stuff is now spewing forth skeletons and zombies and, I don't know, some kind of, like, demons, I guess. So, this is our tutorial. The game is not particularly complicated, but it is still probably worth going through this real quick. So let's drag our army to the path to begin. I guess we could put one on each. I'm not really sure what the advantages of, putting one on each one are versus putting them all together in one spot. I guess we could figure that out later. I guess we could put that one back. Alright, let's click to attack, and I think it starts us at the top. So we're going to fight some skeleton warriors with our own warriors or soldiers or whatever you want to call them. Goal of battle is to deplete the enemy health. The enemy will take damage when your characters get to the enemy zone. So we want to push them from our spawn zone over here on the left over the enemy zone on the right. So we'll click to continue. Click in the spawn area to summon soldiers. They block enemies and deal damage. Spawn a bunch of soldiers now. This also reminds me a little bit of this game I played called Atomic Creep Spawner, which was really, really good, and I actually really need to go back to that and see if that game was ever continued to be developed, because I think it was for an LD competition. Soldiers will push each other and deal damage in order to get an edge. Click on the soldiers to outside the spawn zone to use their powers. So you'll notice there's a couple of meters over here, which they're going to go over in a second, but I might as well just tell you now. So there are HP at the top, and then we've got our MP at the bottom. MP is what's going to control how many soldiers we can spawn. It depletes a little bit each time we spawn them, although there's a little bit of an exploit here, considering our MP shouldn't be respawning while the game is not actively doing anything. So I'm kind of cheating by making a ton of soldiers, but that's okay. It's a tutorial. We don't really need to worry too much about that. So we get a ton of soldiers going. Then when we click on them in the field, we're actually going to knock into these skeletons or whatever we're calling them, and then we'll push them back a little bit further. They're going to keep spawning their enemies. We want to push them forward into their zone, and so on and so forth until we win. So let's click on some soldiers, do a little bit of damage. Actually, I believe our soldiers now are so overpowered that we're just going to crush right through them. Normally, you just push into them for a while. Spawning units and using powers cost mana. Mana recharges over time and when damage is dealt or taken. Alright, so it tries to balance things out in that way. Lastly, bombs can set off to deal off large damage to groups of enemies. Bombs cost no mana and cool down after use. Drag and release a bomb to detonate. So we want to grab this guy and put it in the largest range, area of effect areas possible. I think we've kind of already won. Yeah, that was kind of a pretty decisive battle. We knock out the skeletons, we level up. Our soldiers here get a little bit more powerful in one way or another. I guess we can choose if we want to have better push or if we want to have better attack. I'm going to choose better push. Not sure which is the better option here. I'm still completely new to this, so I'm learning as I go. Alright, so I don't know how this class plays. We're going to see what this is. It might play exactly the same as the soldiers. In fact, it very well may. But it seems like we've got an increased number of baddies on this level, so I'm going to probably use a bomb pretty soon, because why not? That's going to save me a whole lot of trouble. Okay, these are spearmen, I guess. And we are able to push much, much further into the enemy horde on this particular level. Really enjoying the aesthetic to this game. It's got this nice fusion. It's like it's pixel art. It's like sort of super low res, but it's also not at the same time. Like the clouds are a little bit better looking. I might have to use another bomb here. There we go. Don't let them in. Keep pushing. There we go. Oh, they're killing my soldiers! Oh no, I'm taking damage. I'm already failing. This is not good. And I've run out of mana. Another bomb is necessary, unfortunately. Great music as well, I should comment. The music is very enjoyable, definitely sets the stage well. This is a surprisingly dangerous enemy horde here. I don't seem to be able to get ahead of it very easily, so let's see if we could maybe turn the tides by being a little bit more offensive or aggressive to maybe just get things moving in the other direction. I think that might be working. Yep, bad dudes taking a little bit of damage. We still have a ways to go yet. I wonder what the implications are if you could maybe make this game like multiplayer online. Would that actually be worth doing? Would that be fun? It might be. I mean, obviously, it'd have to be balanced pretty carefully, but, you know, if that was able to be done, this could be a good concept for that. I'm just going to use a bomb straight away, that way we don't get involved with possibly prolonging this battle for much longer. I'm running out of mana really fast, which is a little bit worrisome. I'm kind of hoping we can just finish things up here. The amount of spearmen I seem to have at the top part of this is not really helping me much. I need some more mana, and they come faster, like, then I can keep fighting them off. Oh, jeez. Alright, we're in trouble now. The hordes, they're unstoppable. This is not right for the second fight, for it to be this difficult, I would say. I'm doing everything I can to push forward. This would be a great mode or a game to have, like a Spartans versus Persians mode or something. Recreate 300 in one way or another. Maybe make a phalanx or two. I think people enjoy a good phalanx from now and again. Oh, all of a sudden we push them back just kind of out of nowhere. So that was kind of challenging. We got our level up, though. I'm going to up the attack, because it seemed like we weren't really killing much of anything in this case. And lastly, it looks like we've got our wizards, which they're not really going to give me a whole lot of time here to get ready, so let's just rush into things and hope for the best. What is our wizard power here? Oh, we got lasers! Oh, I do love lasers. It's a little bit like a wizard railgun. That's why I'm really appreciative to have a move like this in my arsenal. And the wizard looks like it does quite a bit of power in terms of damage. I think I should be able to kind of knock right through most of these enemy setups here, emplacements, or units, I guess probably the best way to call it. And we've already won. So yeah, battles 1 and 3, much easier than 2 for some reason. So we can choose to up our defense or attack. Our attack's pretty high already. Maybe we should just push the attack even further and see what happens from that. Not that I know or think that it's necessarily something we had to do, so... items and upgrades can be purchased between rounds, so what can we get now? We can get an up to max vitality, increase unit cap so we can have more dudes out, vastly increase max mana, that seems like a thing worth doing, and mana regeneration also worth doing, but I only have $90, so that's probably not going to be enough. There's also a few bombs up here that I could purchase. I mean, right now with my 100... honestly, or $90 rather, I can't really purchase much of anything except for one of these special bombs. I'm going to opt out. I'm going to just wait, store up my money for the next round. We'll do another... Well, what happens if I set up my multiple armies up at the top here? Just out of curiosity. Like, maybe it was a case of a poor mix and match, that because I put the spearmen in the middle, I should have known, like, the middle guys, those are, like, the hordes that seem to be, you know, really fast-paced in terms of spawning. Top, I don't know, maybe they'll have their own quirk to what you need to do to sort of maximize your chances. So, okay, I guess I have to put everybody in a spot, right? So what does that mean, then, if I don't put everyone in a spot? I'm just gonna, like, lose when I get to this one? I don't know, I'm not really sure I understand why there can be one that's just totally missing. Let's say attack to this and see what happens, just out of curiosity. There's, like, forfeiting that one or something? I don't know, we'll see. It's also interesting that this game kind of comes across a little bit like a really fast-paced Plants vs. Zombies kind of a feeling to it. I mean, in also like a much more simplistic sense as well. I mean, it's fast-paced because obviously the way the game is played sort of requires that, but it's also just, there's not as much to it. There's not as many variables involved, which I like. I think it's simplified in a way that's really helpful. And probably makes the game much more enjoyable as a result. Like, I would totally play a bunch of this on my phone if this was to be a phone game. I just don't think it is right now. But I guess, you know, if you're watching, developer, I would probably buy this. And that's not something I usually say, so that's kind of a big deal for me. So the enemies seem to be pretty well armored now. I don't seem to have a lot of ways to make a lot of significant damage into them, other than keep just pushing as fast as I can and hope that my troops will outlast. Let's drop a bomb in the middle of that. Hopefully we can get some damage done. I really need that max to, like, my mana regeneration and capacity. Both of those would be extremely helpful in making a difference towards getting us to the enemy zone faster. And that is really the thing, right? Like, you could really rush down the enemies if you try. And you'll have probably a pretty good chance of success if you can just smash right into them right from the get-go. Okay, we got a skeleton getting through it. We haven't taken much damage, but I'm worried about if I just sort of miss a few Qs here and they all just get right through. Miss the Qs results in me QQing, I suppose. Okay, this is getting dangerous all of a sudden. We gotta keep these bombs flowing, right? Because, yeah, I mean, maybe I should have actually opted for one of those special bombs, like the ice one or the fire one or something. Damage over time, or I guess slows the enemies. That would have been kind of useful in this case, wouldn't it? Seems like the enemies are actually getting stronger the longer I wait here. I mean, I'll try and push them back a bit, but I'm going to run out of mana before I can necessarily make it over, I would think. Oh, no, actually, it worked just fine. So I kind of have to take advantage of that momentum when I start to really fly in one direction there. So we can upgrade our attack again, or our push. I forgot what I did before. Was it the push? Seems to be a little higher, so I'll upgrade my attack this time. Our knights are looking pretty spiffy. I can't actually upgrade... Okay, well, I kind of wanted to spend some money on items, but I guess that's not going to happen right now. Let's drop a bomb in there first thing, get that going right off the bat. If we could just push right away, that would be really nice. Kinda doesn't seem to be working, though. Keep pushing, we'll get another bomb in there. I mean, this game is really fun. Like, it probably doesn't need to be said, because hopefully you can tell that I'm having a good time, but, like, this game is really well done, it's really fun, it's really unpretentious, it's simple, it's easy to understand, it's easy to wrap your mind around, and in general, feels rewarding. I mean, there's enough of that give and take, where the fact that you can upgrade your units... Oh, I'm just gonna get destroyed on this one, I can't do much of anything about it. You can upgrade your units, there's little, like, cosmetic things that happen, your guys get a little better each time. That all adds up, and I think it makes the game a lot more fun as a result, so far, totally on board with this one. Which, you know, kind of funny, because boarding party games, right? Anyway, so I've got my laser men, which I think hopefully should be a little bit more of an advantage in this case. Let's just nuke them, basically, and not even take any chances. Our wizards get pushed back really far, though, when they get hit, so that's something we gotta be aware of as well. Let's keep laser nuking them. I can drop a bomb in there in a moment, which I think I'm gonna actually do. Yeah, our numbers are actually not bad. I think we actually have the ability to really push far into them at this point. Yeah, they don't stand a chance with these guys, so... I don't know, I think it's about also finding the right combination of who you've got versus who they've got. And now we're gonna see what happens in the case that I don't fight the dudes in the middle, right? So let's see what happens. Okay, it generates another troop. Okay, I guess this is a balance we can run, where if we don't keep fighting down each one of the new incoming troops, we're going to end up with, maybe in this case we got a space, in this case we got a space, but you might end up with a harder guy. And I'm pretty sure the goal here is sort of a meta version of what we're doing on the level-to-level game, where we're trying to push through on actually 3 different fronts at the same time. So it's actually really an intelligent way to set up the game concept. And in this case now I'm going to try and upgrade, I guess, my mana regeneration, because, well, it's either that or I wait one more go and then try and get to 200. Kind of want to do that. Let's send our wizards here to the middle, because this seems to be the hardest in terms of spawn. And the top seems like we could really let that go for a day, and I guess we'll put a couple of troops down here. I guess the thing we don't want to have happen is run out of troops, have them overrun us, and then they'll get another move forward or something. So there are still some things that I'm not 100% sure how it all works, but at the same time, it seems like I'm not that worried about it. We'll figure it out. And the game is bite-sized enough that if it turns out that I don't understand what I'm doing at all, like, I don't really have a problem with just starting over. This game is not all that long from what I can tell. But it is pretty rewarding, so, you know, those two things together work out really well. Seems like I'm making really good strides with this setup here. We've got these wizards pushing right through whatever we're calling these guys. They're like orcs or zombies or something like that. They seem to just go immediately down, and we're just pushing right into their base. It's like a little Dota game in a way, just a little bit less complicated, or maybe a lot bit less. So yeah, we just crushed them. We got 30 bucks for it. We get to upgrade again. We can upgrade our attack or our push. I'll just keep upgrading the attack and see how OP I can make this guy. Or this army, rather. Alright, so now we're going to do spearmen versus demons. Oh, they've got demon lasermen now. That's kind of worrisome, because I don't have any of my own spear lasermen. So I'm going to get probably crushed right now. Because I don't even have the ability to really fight them right now. It's just they're just cutting right through. I'm done. Can't even fight. Damn. Dropped a bomb at the end. They didn't care. Alright, I guess we'll throw some knights at the situation. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work out much better. So you'll see things do escalate quite a bit. We need to get right over there and, like, drop some bombs on those lasermen as fast as we can. If we could just push straight into their base, that would be terrific. Get that bomb ready to go, and I'm going to drop it right as soon as it's up. There it is. Drop it on the laser guy. Put a ton more knights into the situation and keep pushing. There's going to be more lasers coming out in just a moment, I have a feeling. And by the time that happens, hopefully my next bomb will be up. It is up now. If we could get a little bit more push going up top here. Okay, well, I'm going to have to use the bomb over there. That's not where I wanted it to be. And I've immediately run through all my mana again. If I could just get a little bit ahead of the curve with some money, I think we'd have a chance. But I just seem to be behind on that every single time. Any more lasers coming in? Oh, I need to keep making more guys. There's a laser. Took him out. So there's a, effective micromanagement when it comes to when you place units, when you drop bombs. All of that stuff is really useful to know, as well as trying to get the right combination of items, trying to set up the right combination of what troop versus what unit. I think those are all, really interesting strategies that are employed really effectively and intelligently in such a, a tiny little game. It doesn't have a lot to it, but what's there is really good. So, I mean, if you can't tell, pretty emphatically happy about playing Bit Battles, and this is a game that I absolutely want to recommend to you guys. I think it's really fun. And, I didn't know how good it was when I started up the game, but I learned over the course of this 16 minutes that I've been playing so far. I kind of don't know that I'm going to win. This feels like a little bit of a stalemate right now. I keep pushing back into them, but these lasers just keep coming back, and I can't get enough mana to do enough damage and push far into their base. I keep trying, we're pushing again. Lasers come back, drop another bomb. Thankfully, I can take out, every single time, I can take out all the laser troops with that one bomb. Or wizards, I guess we should probably call them. I mean, yes, they shoot lasers, but they're not like laser troops. Okay, that was probably an effective bomb. If we could rush their base right now, I might oh, I'm out of units again. I'm perpetually at no mana at all, so it's kind of hard to get ahead like that. Oh, so many enemy units! Go, 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 go! I'm trying to make a hard push here on their base because they don't need that much more cajoling for me to win. But, I don't know, this is looking sort of dismal, or at the very worst, or best, it's probably looking a little bit like a stalemate still. Keep pushing, another bomb. I mean, the bombs don't seem to do enough damage to kill the troops, generally. So it's, I'm trying to make up for that by having superior numbers or superior armor or something like that, and I don't think it's quite working. I'm going to drop a bomb a little preemptively here. Okay, we did it. Just barely, though. So that was actually really close. Managed to push through that one. And what do I have now? Push or another attack. Both useful. Let's do attack. I think maybe we can cut them down in their prime. That might be useful. So you can see, shop's open. We get to buy stuff now. Finally. Let's increase our max mana. I mean, the thing that I've wanted the whole time. Let's drag it to our inventory. Get this little lightning bolt thingy. And that is now purchased. We don't have to worry about that anymore, but we don't have any money. So I can't really buy anything else. We're just going to have to roll with 200 mana. And that is good enough for me. So, honestly, I think this is a good point to wrap up the episode. You get a good idea of how this game works. Bit Battles, I love it. Go play it right now. It's totally free. You can play it in browser. Link's going to be in the description. I urge you to click on that link, give it a try. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinions on this game. I mean, what do you think about a game that's, so bite-sized and yet so playable? I mean, I don't run into too many like that, but I think this is one of the best ones so far that I've hit. So let me know your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Any suggestions you have for other games to cover in the series are always welcome as well. And of course, while you're in the description looking for the link for this game, feel free to check my other social media links like my Twitter, my Facebook, my Twitch page, or even indie-impressions.com, where you can go to check out over 550 other games in the series that I've covered. All of them have videos, all of them are neatly sorted and categorized, so if you're looking for a specific type of game, you can find it over there. So hopefully you enjoy what you found, and hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and please do continue to leave any support you can. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And please do come back again tomorrow, because new episodes are every single day without exception. Been going for well over a year. We're actually probably closer to 2 years now than 1 year, so hopefully you'll continue coming back to find out about new and crazy and awesome indie games, and I value the fact that you're here. So have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.